Big breaking news tonight. An Alabama woman says Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore made inappropriate advances and had sexual contact with her when she was 14. This is all according to a Washington Post story. The Post quoted the woman, Lee Korfman, who said that Moore met her several times when he was a local prosecutor in his 30s, and at one point drove her to his home where she claims he touched her over her underwear and guided her hand to touch him. They did not have sexual intercourse, according to the Post. In addition to Korfman, 3 other women interviewed by the Post in recent weeks said Moore pursued them when they were between the ages of 16 and 18, and he was in his early 30s. None of the other women said that Moore forced them into any sort of relationship or sexual conduct. The Moore campaign released a statement calling the allegations, quote, the very definition of fake news and intentional defamation. The statement went on to say, in part, Judge Roy Moore has endured the most outlandish attacks on any candidate in the modern political arena. But this story in today's Washington Post alleging sexual impropriety takes the cake. It went on to say, quote, after over 40 years of public service, if any of these allegations were true, they would have been made public long before now. Well, after the story broke, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who backed the incumbent Senator Luther Strange in the Republican runoff of the Senate seat, said, quote, if these allegations are true, he must step aside. Arizona Senator John McCain said about Moore he should immediately step aside and allow the people of Alabama to elect a candidate they can be proud of. Alabama State Auditor Jim Ziegler used scripture to defend Moore, saying, quote, take Joseph and Mary. Mary was a teenager and Joseph was an adult carpenter. They became the parents of Jesus. Alabama Senator Richard Shelby had this to say.
Well, I don't know. It's a devastating, nasty story. If the revelation, if that's true, I don't believe there'd be any place for him in the U.S. Senate.
And Governor Kay Ivey released this statement about a half hour ago. She said these allegations are deeply disturbing. I will hold judgment until we know the facts. The people of Alabama deserve to know the truth and will make their own decisions. Now, I also asked for comments from Representative Bradley Byrne and the chair of the Alabama Republican Party, Terry Lathan, and so far no response from them. Now, I did some research and discovered that should the Alabama GOP withdraw its nomination, its support, Moore would, however, remain on the ballot because some people have already voted, but he couldn't be certified the winner. So there would be a need for yet another special election. Secretary of State John Merrill tells me that Senator Luther Strange, who lost to Moore in the runoff, could run a write-in campaign.